What up? How you guys doing? Let me give you the official cheers and welcome each and every one of you to Happy Hour with the Lincoln. This is where week by week I'll do my best to answer all of your stock market related questions, tell tales and rant about stock market topics, and share my 2 decades of trading experience with you guys just so you can be more profitable and more successful in your endeavor. As always, if you need help with your personal trading, take a moment, visit this link. Every day that the market is open, we are trading live in real time, and that will direct you to our trading room. I'm going to pull my shirt down here first. So here's what I want to talk about today. Again, welcome each and every one of you. One of the things I want to talk about is I have been speaking a lot lately that there's this influx, and I'm sure most of you see it and know it as well, of new traders. And that's a great thing. It's nice to see new, fresh people coming onto the scene here, and many of you are going to be very successful at this, and that's amazing. And there's also a lot of you out there that's kind of took a hiatus and you've been gone for a while, and because of this quarantine as well, it's brought you back into trading or kind of just re-energized your interest into the trading field. So I welcome you guys back as too. So what I want to talk about, and this goes for just anybody out there right now that's an aspiring trader, a new trader, or somebody that's been around the block for a while and still cannot put together consistency. There's always this debate about what are the proper tools that a trader needs to become successful. So now if you're somebody that's already professional and you have a consistent income and you've been doing this for a while and you've been successful and consistent in all different kind of markets, this doesn't apply to you because you already know the types of tools that you need. This is something that's more engineered for those of you that are still struggling or new or aspiring. Now, I know a lot of you out there that might be working for a while and doing this are saying, well, maybe I don't need these tools or something. But here's one thing I do want to mention before I start. If you are unable to be consistent and you are unable to be profitable over any period of time and establish that consistency, then whatever path you're on, it's the wrong path. And I'm not being a jackass here, right? I was on the same road myself too. I'm just speaking from the heart and from the truth because I had to make this assessment of myself back in 2001 and also 2003 when what I really needed and then the biggest trading tool I needed was a mirror. Right? That's what I needed because the problem was in the mirror. It was me. And I'm not saying that you guys are necessarily the problem, but what I'm saying is it pays to sometimes go back to the basics. Throw away the things that you have done that are confusing you, that are complicating your trading, and get back to those basics, and you'll probably see an incredible improvement in the way that you trade. Just my 2 cents. So I'm not going to do this in any particular order. I'm just going to riff off the cuff here a little bit. I'm going to talk about what you need as far as tools and what you really don't need. So what you need first and foremost, I think we obviously already know that, is you guys need a brokerage account and money in that. I'm not going to waste time talking about that. I think that's a given here. So you need some way to make trades either with Thinkorswim, E-Trade, Interactive Broker, NinjaTrader, somebody, doesn't matter. All these brokers are good. All these brokers can deliver what they need to for you to start being successful, and they all have the right equipment just built into their platforms. So anybody is good, and we're in an age of free commission, so it's a good time to be alive and a good time to be trading. The most important tool I think every trader needs, now I'm talking about traders here, I'm not talking about investors or people that are in this for the long haul. I'm talking about people that are making money as traders or intending to make money. There's a big difference between those two groups of people. If you are trying to make money as a trader, the most important thing you need is a tool that will help you uncover the most important of all things that you need uncovered, and that is price. Because price is the most important thing, and we've talked about this before. The prices that you are seeing stocks trading are not just random numbers. They mean something. They have value behind them, and the way that they're traded at certain times of the day, at certain price points, give you the clues to tell you whether a stock or some sort of financial instrument is poised to go higher or poised to go lower. And the way that you do this most effectively is through the usage of candlestick charts and support and resistance. Those are the 2 basics. But if you're going to trade stocks and trade consistently and be an active trader, you have got to have some knowledge of price. And you uncover or discover those prices via charts and via candlestick charting. Now, this is not a candlestick charting video, but you can just Google right up in the top here or put it in the top of the YouTube bar, whatever, guide to candlesticks. You just need to know the basics. You don't even need to know the definition of what the candlesticks are. You just need to know what are you seeing on the screen, how it can determine price, and how it can give you a feel for where buyers are stepping in to support a stock and where sellers are taking control by selling stocks in resistance or certain specific points throughout the chart. You got to have that. If you're going to trade, not invest, but it pays anyway to understand just basic charting. You don't need to get into all this fancy Fibonacci's and Elliott waves, basic support resistance and basic candlesticks. You need that. The next thing that you need, which most brokers now will offer, is some sort of replay device. Now, Thinkorswim, I love, which uses on demand, and I've talked about this one before too. And what this allows you to do is to pick any day in the past and watch that day as it's playing out in real time. That way you can get the screen time that's necessary. One of the things that everybody needs to succeed is screen time. What has gotten most of us here in the professional realms, me for example, is the 22 years I've spent behind a computer watching stocks. Now, we didn't have these tools available to us when I started trading, or I would have used them. But consider, like, I know a lot of you have jobs maybe, or you're split time, you have families, it's hard to devote 100% of your time to the market while it's open. But this allows you to watch the market whenever you want. And it's like a movie. So instead of going and doing like the Netflix and chill, do the stock chart and chill. Just get out there, play back a day. Now, I also like to use this feature, which I mentioned before, to help me with markets I'm not currently experiencing. So like prior to this March, April correction that we went through, the 30% correction in the market, after we had December of 2018's correction, the market went on this linear bull run where it was just mega bullish and it was just melting up. And you kind of get entranced by that stuff, and you think that's going to be the market forever. What I like to do is go back to 2018 and play back really bearish tape. Tape is sometimes a slang for the actual market itself, the way it moves. But anyway, I would watch it back over and over again. So I would be fresh in my mind. I remember how a bear market. So it's like, consider it like I'm practicing, like a sports athlete will watch film. I'm watching film to pick out little nuances within the market, little things that I see, little things I can pick up with my strategy and everything else that goes along with that. And also, you guys are going to have some sort of strategy. You just can't randomly buy and sell stocks. I think most of you should know that. But have that playback feature so that you understand this is how the market works. These are things I can find, little clues. And you can just pick any day. It's a beautiful thing. So rather than sitting out there and having pizza and popcorn and watching your Netflix, have pizza and popcorn. Watch some stocks. You'll learn things that no one else is going to be able to teach you, that people can't show you. You're going to have to see for yourself. And rather than just waiting for a live market, you can get those hundreds of hours of practice at your convenience, late at night, doing whatever. So try that. I think those are two very, very valuable tools that every trader needs. Now, the next part comes to what you don't need. And this is going to be a debate here, but I believe I'm speaking from what's best for most. And let's first address the issue which a lot of people feel they need, and that is scanners. Now, I'm pro scanner. I love scanners, love trade ideas, talk about them all the time. They're the best. It's fantastic. But scanners are only for traders that have an established process. And if you guys are tuning in for the first time, you want to know what it is. A process is what your trader identity is. It's a definition of who you are as a trader and what are you looking for. Because you can't trade every stock. You can't trade every option. You can't be the master of everything. You have to have a specific niche where you fit into, and that is your process. And it's the way you go about doing your business. And every trader is very specific about this and has worked on themselves to fit that process. Scanners, I think sometimes traders get confused that they feel scanners are going to take them from rags to riches. And they're not going to. Because the only thing that's going to take you from rags to riches is hard work, continuing evolving as a trader, journaling trades and working on things like that. Not scanners. Scanners won't take you from rags to riches. They'll take you from riches to more riches. But you already have to be a consistent, well-rounded trader and use that as a tool. So like for me, for example, a scanner won't work if I wasn't successful. All a scanner helps me with is I take my criteria of stocks that I look for. patterns, price movement, and things like that that I look for. And I program into the scanner. So now I don't have to sit here and sift through hundreds of charts and keep obsessively clicking back and forth over and over again. I can basically sit on my butt, like I do all day anyway. I can just sit there and just let the scanner produce the names for me. That's all that really does, is it takes away my research time, which in turn makes me more fresh, keeps my brain sharp, lets me have energy to use towards trades, and it works out. If that's the kind of trader you are, it will help you. But don't be fooled that you're just going to be a unsuccessful trader who's losing money and a scanner is going to solve your problems. It's not. This also goes to the part about moving averages and Elliott waves or whatever the indicators, because indicators are like religion to them as well. It's always like, when I meet traders, they say, what indicators are you using? What indicators are you using? And it's the same thing as a scanner to me, in the theory that if you're not successful already, the 10-day moving average isn't going to help you. The 200-day moving average is not going to help you if you don't even know how to read price, if you don't know how to look at a chart, if you don't understand that you either overpaid or you underpaid, or where to put your stop, how much money that you're supposed to risk. That doesn't matter. It does not matter, right? So you don't need that. All of those tools like scanners, moving averages, and those types of things, they only help someone who's already successful become more successful. That's all they do. They're not going to get you out of the hole. So before I move on, if you're somebody who is new, you're somebody who is just struggling, you've been around for a little while, I don't care. I'm talking about anybody who is not consistently successful. The problem lies in either discovering the price, like we talk about in our trade room, idea, execution, and management. You find the idea, you execute. Execution comes from understanding charts, stock rhythms, patterns, tape, just figuring out the nuances of the market. That's what it comes from. You've got to figure that out before you do anything else. VWAPs, scanners, you've got to figure that out first. Or you have some sort of psychological disconnection, either fear, FOMO, greed, panic, whatever that might be. You have some sort of problem, which I suffered from for several years. That was my core problem. It was psychological. It was choking under pressure, to be honest with you, in 2001, 2, and 3. It was choking under pressure, not having enough confidence, not having enough belief in myself. Had nothing to do with scanners and indicators, It was just a battle between me. That's why I said, I was told by my mentor, the best trading tool that you can buy is the mirror. Go buy a mirror, put it on the wall and look at it, because the problem's right there. Not to be rude, of course, right? But that's the truth. You're your own worst enemy. So remember that if you're not successful, it's going to lie within one of those three things: idea, execution, and management. And I would say for most of you, 90% of it is going to be management. And that's not the middle finger. That is not the middle finger I'm giving you. So those are tools that you need and you don't need. One last thing that you will need to do on a regular basis that's very vital, and I did a video on this a while back. Just type it up in the top if you want to. It's about how to build the perfect trade journal. You guys out there that are starting out, or those that are struggling, really need to be particular about your trade journal. A trade journal is the diary of what you're doing every day. It's not just about buying and selling a stock or buying and selling an instrument. It's about uncovering a deficiency that you have. And I always refer to athletes. So when an athlete goes back and they look at film, they're not looking at the things they did great. They want to find those one or two small things that they do wrong that they can fix, that takes their game from this level to the next level and raises the bar. They're constantly in pursuit of getting better. And that's how you do it. The journal uncovers, where are you weak? We all have it. Where are you weak? Because what you think in your mind might be a weakness, you could be lying to yourself. It might not be a weakness. It could just be something completely different that you don't know. And I say these things are so important because of this one factor. When I think about myself as an amateur who was consistently losing money, whining and bitching and complaining and crying about it, blowing through accounts for several years, doing the whole woe is me BS sort of thing, the difference between that guy and the one now, as far as strategy, as far as process, as far as ideas, it's basically the same. The shift was in the mentality. The shift was in the psychology. The shift was in the belief of myself. And it was razor thin. And the thing is I went 5 years struggling as a trader with virtually no winning months whatsoever in there. But as soon as I got control of myself, soon as I figured out to make my business simple, use these simple tools, study price, study market moves, feel the market, try to feel the market, not just trade the market, but feel the market. As soon as I'd done that, my career took off. And the money that I made in year 6 was enough to cover all 5 years of those losses. That's how quickly, guys, this thing can turn around. So if you feel like you're just pounding your head in the wall and you're going nowhere, that's normal. Just keep at it. Just keep at it. But the key is to always keep that simple. So in a review, what you really need as a tool is something, you gotta have candlesticks. You guys gotta understand how to use that if you're gonna trade. There's a billion videos out there. Just pick something that's simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Just get a good idea of that. Understand support and resistance, because that uncovers price. I've done a video, you can put it in the YouTube search bar too, the greatest video ever on support and resistance, because it is, right? Watch it. It'll just tell you the basics that you need to know. Keep it basic. Keep it simple. That's going to go a long way. Keep that journal. Keep a record of your behavior, your ideas, your mentality, the way that you're looking at the market, and grow from there. And you guys could also use a mentor. It always helps to have somebody who's been there, done that, felt that, cried over that, bitched over that, complained over that, lost money over that. You'll need that person in your life to fall back on, because no one else is going to understand you. And you guys have been trading for a while know this. The only people that understand you are other traders. Those are the things you need. Price, playback devices like on-demand, mentors. Those are the things that you really need. The things that you don't need are scanning tools, excessive moving averages, and stuff like that. Now, real quickly, if you guys want to know what you're going to do, computers, you don't need a big computer either. Most of you could probably trade on your phone. I can't. I don't like that. Any laptop's going to do fine with a screen. You don't need to complicate any of that stuff with that BS you see on the internet with people, 25 screens. Don't go there either. So remember those, as if I could go back and say one thing that made a difference, it would be keeping it simple. When I threw away everything that I had learned for 5 years almost of disaster, when I threw all of that away and just went back to the drawing board and acted like a newbie and said, you know, like I've never seen this before, I'm going to keep it basic, take everything off my charts and keep them clean, that's when I started making money. And maybe that'll help you. And I say this to the new people that are just starting, don't complicate this, because you can complicate this and you're going to ruin the way you look at the markets, and that could be disastrous. So anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching this happy hour. I hope I entertained you. I hope I educated you. I hope I enlightened you. I hope I took you to another level. But if you guys do need help, right there's the link. Visit me. Come to our trade room, trade with us. We'll do our best to help you become successful. Until the next happy hour, cheers.